Hey, what's going on guys? Timzy here, and in today's video, I'm going to give you guys my first impressions on Battlefield 2042. So the game's been out for 2 days for those with early access, so I've had enough time to play all of the maps, all of the different game modes, try out Hazard Zone, Portal, and all of that. So to give you guys my first impressions on Battlefield is it's a little bit underwhelming. It's a little bit disappointing to say the least. It doesn't feel like a completely finished game. It feels very unpolished, and most importantly, the optimization is very bad. The optimization is probably the worst in any FPS game out currently, just because you can't really get frames in this game. I can't really break 60 FPS in this game when I'm playing. I can't even stream the game currently. And more importantly, even somebody with 3080s, 3090s, i9s, i10s, whatever, you can't even really break 110 FPS. Somebody like Shroud, who has a really beefy PC, when he streams, he can't even break 110, 120 FPS, and a lot of the time he's sitting below 100, in the 90s, in the 80s. So it's just absolutely unacceptable for the current state of the game. Now, besides the optimization, the movement's good. The movement is good. It was good in the beta, so it definitely feels pretty much the same, with the addition to the new specialists, such as Sundance. She's the one with the wingsuit. I think the wingsuit is absolutely amazing. Like, it is so fun to fly around with the wingsuit, and I don't know if it'll get, nerfed a little bit or not, but you can definitely travel or traverse the map pretty easily with that, if as long as you can get enough high ground to then jump off and kind of glide your way around the map. That really helps out with the size of the maps. That lets you kind of get closer from point A to point B, which brings me to the 128 players. So 128 players, in my opinion, is too many players, just because it makes the map just unnecessarily large for, obvious reasons. You have to account for the player count, and then it also doubles the vehicles. There are double the vehicles on the map because there are double the players on the map. And the game is already sort of a running simulator to get from point A to point B, and obviously you do have the ability to call in a vehicle, but if there's no vehicles to call in, you can't call in a vehicle, so you have to run across the map anyways. Now, the tac sprint does help a little bit, but realistically, you're probably getting there in another, less than 30 seconds or difference between tac sprinting and normal sprinting, but between point A and point B, if you are going from one flag to another, which is not really that much. But realistically, a lot of the objectives are 300, 400 meters away, so you're running pretty far if you don't have a vehicle. So it's not a huge issue having 128 players and the map size being that large, just because once dedicated servers come out, I can just simply find a server that fits the wants that I want and the needs that I want to have in the game, and I can just do 64 player servers on slightly smaller maps, and then, I'll have a good time doing that. But again, I just think it's genuinely too many players. It makes the map just way too large, but that's more of a personal preference. I think it's a great selling point for sure. They want to one-up themselves from the previous Battlefield and make it 2 times bigger, the map's 2 times bigger or even more. So it's understandable, but at the same time, it's a little bit unnecessary, in my opinion. So that's pretty much the main thing. I guess one thing I want to talk about is the gunplay. So I talked about the movement, so I want to talk about the gunplay. The gunplay currently is just, it seems inconsistent. It feels like there's some sort of bloom when you're taking gunfights where your bullet goes left and right of your reticle at times. So you can be getting in a gunfight and you can have your crosshair right on the person, but your bullets are just missing because of the randomness in the bloom and just the inconsistency in the gunplay. So that is another thing. And I'll just go back to the point where I said the game is just unpolished. It just doesn't seem completely finished. It seems like in a few months it would definitely be better and hopefully a lot more polished and hopefully actually finished. And definitely I pray that it's better, has better optimization. But again, it just doesn't feel like a completed game. So, if you guys are debating on getting the game and you want to wait a few months and see if it gets better, that's definitely going to be the route that you guys should go with. Definitely don't spend your money now unless you are dedicated to playing the game. But anyways, I think overall, it definitely has a lot of promise. It definitely is in a rough state now. And I know that we got the game a week early for the Gold and Ultimate members and some EA Play members, but at the same time, who knows? Maybe something changes between now and launch. With 5 days or 4 days, it doesn't seem possible realistically. But at the same time, we also only have Conquest and Breakthrough, and there are definitely a lot more game modes in Battlefield that we should have access to. So it seems once the game is fully launched out in a few days, that we'll obviously get more game modes and stuff like that. So who knows if they're adding even more to the game at that point once the game is officially launched. But anyways, guys, that is going to be all from me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did so, don't forget to leave a like on the video. And if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button and notification bell so you guys don't miss a future video. You guys can expect to see a lot more Battlefield content, such as specialist guides, weapon guides, loadouts, and all that stuff. So anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.